damn, we're starting. Jesus Christ.
I'm fucking telling. Where's my fucking
Who are you gonna tell?
Tell what?
I'm gonna tell the chat right now when we start. The music's already on. We're doing this.
That's a legit question then. All right.
No, because that's the thing. People, everyone who's gonna be watching right now. Ganja just said that black girls don't like to do anal.
All right, yeah. All
What
right.
can I come back to?
If there are black girls within the chat right now,
Oh, God, you are-
men want to answer this. This is actually a well-known joke within the community. Hell, it's a joke within my community that we don't like.
Ganja, you need to stop.
No.
I will
Holy
never
shit,
stop. I
Ganja,
can't stop. I won't stop.
Well, damn,
Mute his
where-
mic.
I don't even
I
know
can't
how
anymore
to
because Haynos
stop
took it
here.
off. No, because
No, they did it. I'll mute his ass.
You
There.
can't. Oh, you did?
Yeah. For Ganja's no fucking
don't
good
do
at
that, you dumb shit. Oh, now these two immature motherfuckers are gonna be muting each
immature.
other.
I'm trying to save him from fucking saying some stupid
He just muted you back.
I can fight him. He doesn't know how technology works.
Can you stupid fucking children with your
I'll have to
equally
right
dumb
now.
ass brains act like grown men? Jesus.
This motherfucker just tried to make a generalized statement about a race of women. Like,
You just muted him. Now he's muting you. Max, thank you. See, this is
well,
why
somebody has to save Ganja from himself.
Never.
You'll say something way worse in about 5 minutes.
I don't wanna
How would I
say
say
it.
something worse?
You
than
find a fucking
that?
way.
I don't think I'm gonna say anything nearly as racist as that.
We literally can't go more than 2 episodes without you saying something mean about a female actress. So I'm sorry.
Yes, but I'm not talking about the entire female race. Fucking
The entire female race.
entire fucking female.
I mean, but-
Female race or
God.
sex, gender, maybe, possibly.
Whatever the fuck. That's still not as stupid as what your ass said.
Jesus Christ, man. Phantom D Saints over here in the YouTube chat too. I'm sorry I'm not showing it. I'm gonna try to show the
Don't
chat.
worry,
so
I
much.
just told on his ass.
You did?
Told
Wait, did you
who?
tell his girl?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She's gonna come into this fucking call during the show and she's gonna yell at him.
Or she's gonna be in agreement with me. One
No,
of the other.
yeah, really.
How would she know?
I will bet you $10.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. I like how when we first started, this is how much Ganja doesn't know about what we do here. He goes, "Man, all the black girls in our chat are gonna say, yep, I agree." Where the black girls at in our chat? What
I mean,
show do you think we're doing?
I mean, in my defense, they're usually there, just not at the moment.
Who?
Who? Yeah,
We got-
please name him. Or
we have,
actually, don't name him.
That's
Tiffany.
Zoe, I think, but I don't want to put someone out.
Yeah, Zoe, Allie doesn't watch this because she's smarter than that.
So that should
Yeah,
count. Jen-
Zoe, yeah.
Yeah, I know Zoe. I don't. That's it.
We it's fucked up. We had more back in the day.
I mean, yeah, back
Well,
in
yeah,
the day,
but with
3
comments
years
like
ago.
these, if I was a black girl,
They're too busy doing anal, Ganja.
yeah.
More according to Ganja, not.
Hey, you know what? It's either one or the other. There's a yes or no there, all right?
Okay, at this point, Ganja, let's just pretend. I know you would. I know this is something you've dreamed of doing. Let's just pretend you are a black female right now. How would you feel after that comment? Would you continue watching?
I mean, if I was in agreement, I'd be like, hell yeah, Ganja.
No. Some random fucking personality that you don't even know their race just said something entirely about the female demographic of your race. That's like me coming out and saying fucking like Indian women don't know how to strip or some shit.
They
That's
don't.
hilarious.
Oh my
I
god.
would support that one. They don't.
That's my favorite Alan quote. Even if he didn't mean it, it's Indian women doesn't know the street.
And I sponsor that quote as someone who grew up on the reservation. The only thing they know is footwork, not bouncing.
Shut
Oh my
up!
god.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Remember when I told you Ho Ganja was not dead? He was just fucking contained. I think he let him out for a few minutes.
That's not Hulk Ganja. That's just Ganja telling the truth.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? You just talked about it.
Max, I'm so sorry about Twitch being weird with the apostrophes, because like it's hard to even like from my end to read this on screen. It's hard to understand what anyone's saying because it's like end quote Indian women don't apostrophe and quote this like it's crazy. But no, he said
Apostrophe, quote, heart symbol.
yeah, dude. It's like I don't know what's up with Twitch when it comes to that. But
Vote
obviously
it yourself.
exactly, yeah. So but no, man. So here we are. I like how the chats are finally working. This is the first time in about 2 fucking weeks that the chats were actually working. We got Facebook over here going on.
Don't say that out loud or it's gonna break.
No shit, right? You know, we got the YouTube chat over here going on, and BBM. Thank you for. By the way, I'm always gonna call you BBM. I can't call you Phantom Desane because it just feels awkward. I don't know if you feel the same way, Alan, but I can't. Yeah.
You gotta
Literally
respect
just
him.
BBM in the
He's
chat.
finally coming to money. He's no longer BBM.
Exactly.
He's RBN.
Of course. I don't know. Wait. RBM. So you mean like
Rich
that's a property joke. I don't like that. That could be offensive.
How?
Man, I wanted to explain it, man. There's a whole.
I don't know.
history.
Okay, I don't know. RBM must be some American thing. I don't know the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, it's very much an American thing. Unfortunately, it's
Okay.
one of the worst things about our fucking country.
Well, acronyms are fucking stupid. So
I know.
Oh, fuck.
But Gary's in multiple chats up here too. How you doing, Gary? I know Gary's been playing lots of Contra, the anniversary collection. I keep seeing his videos pop up and everything too. Is there any point that you might play those at all, Ellen, or not?
Fuck no.
Why, just,
Maybe
is it
Contra
difficulty
3
or-
because that was the one I actually played as a kid.
Mhm.
But again, it's just like I kind of grew out of that. That's why I don't like the indie genre anymore because it's like I grew up on that shit. Like, oh man, we gotta go retro. I grew up with the retro. I don't
Well,
give a
it's not-
fucking shit about it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's like they're not doing like retro. They're literally just like porting shit that's.
Oh yeah,
already
yeah,
been
yeah.
there.
But like it was games like that. I grew up on Contra that I really enjoyed. That's like, well, why would I ever go back to play those? Because I grew out of those kinds of games. You know, they used to play that as a kid. Me and my brother used to play that all the time. I mean, we never got past the second fucking level, but we used to play it all the fucking time.
Yeah, man, no,
but
but
yeah,
I love this
yeah.
game very, very much. I love this anniversary collection. I think that the way they put these together was actually pretty damn cool. I feel like they have so many games in here as well that like I still play Contra, and even though I'm getting mad and I can't beat some of it, and I'm getting pissed off, it is one of those like games that the difficulty just continues to de-age just the game itself. It's like you can play this forever. And like in 20 years from now, you'll have something way better than this, but you'll still go back to this because there's just something about it that's perfect.
Yeah, no. Look, the thing is, like, when I say I hate the indie genre and the side scrollers, I hate the shit that's coming out in 2017, 2019, because I don't give a fuck. But I'll go back and play Mega Man X. That game, or Super Mario World, for instance. Like those
Yeah.
games are still good because they were the pinnacle of technology at the time. They weren't made because I want to be artsy. They were the top, the most expensive, the most technologically advanced video games of their generation. Yeah, they look like something that could be made in an hour on Flash today, but back in the day, that was the height of video games. Now it's like, well, let's try to replicate it. It's like, no. They had to deal with the technology of like they had to deal with very little computing power, very little processing power in their fucking consoles, and still managed to make that gem.
Sounds
it's
like
that's
pussy
not-
power, by the way. They had to put the processing power, the pussy power. I'm like, whoa,
No.
what the fuck?
I mean, pussy
You, I
power
don't
is
know what you're
is a
thinking
way
of.
better coolant than we're used to with water PC.
Exactly.
Anyway, but the thing is, like, that's why I like again, that's why I like the AAA genre because like they're pushing the fucking pinnacle of technology now.
They
So,
are pushing the pussy power.
looking at
Exactly.
fucking Cyberpunk that's gonna come out next year. That's gonna blow people's computers up.
Yeah, man, Cyberpunk, it's a Cyber Pussy 2099. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean,
am I-
shit,
am
there
I
will
gonna
be
have
cyber.
Legit question: am I gonna have to upgrade my PC for Cyberpunk?
Okay, Ganja, you've been asking me this question since you bought your PC. You don't need to upgrade it. You're good.
Yo, I'm trying to upgrade this motherfucker to the point that it says "Hello, Ganja."
Max,
One night.
He just
Well,
wants
you're gonna
HAL
need to
from
spend
fucking-
like $10,000 for that to happen.
on just the processor alone. No, because again, like, because Ganja wants to run his RTSs, but like, okay, RTSs are usually PC based, but it doesn't mean they're optimized well for the platform they're on. So it's like, for instance, like Fallout New Vegas, you're never gonna get a rig that'll get that running at 60 frames. Good fucking luck with that, because that game was never optimized to run at 60 frames.
So here's the thing, though. One thing, like, I mean, I like the anniversary collections and everything too, but like, as far as like just being nostalgic and adding more revalue to certain things I've already enjoyed back in the day. I used to do this a lot with DVDs from Walmart at the double features and whatnot, and I'm wondering if like they start doing more of these collection pieces. I'm curious. I'm gonna ask all you guys. I'll start with Jet, but like, what are some like video game double features or triple features or whatever the fuck that you would see yourself playing a lot of? Like, I don't know if Jet's gonna say like all the games with the weird nerds from the Nintendo days, like Leslie and Likely and fucking anybody else who sucks. But yeah, like Jet, is there anything that you feel like you would buy like a pack of that's just a bunch of shit you used to play, but then it's combined for modern play?
Shit. If they came out with something like they did with what was it? The most recent one, the PlayStation One.
Mini or classic,
Yeah,
whatever
mini
the
or
fuck
something
it's
like
called.
that for like the Nintendo 64. I can see myself getting that.
Yeah, I might actually do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, and that's almost like a cheat kind of because there's so many games they're gonna put on there. Well, then again, I say
Not
that,
really.
but probably not. Yeah, exactly. Like they
Okay,
Super Nintendo
Ocarina
was
of
terrible.
Time, 100% they're gonna put on there. If Microsoft lets them to put Banjo Tooie, they're gonna probably put. I think a Star Fox game came out on there, so probably one of the Star Fox games on there. Super Mario 64,
Mario.
obviously. If they remember Paper Mario exists. Above Super Mario 64.
I
for sure.
remember Paper Mario exists.
Do they though?
I
The
just
first
downloaded
two.
it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They have not. No, Paper Mario to me is like Super Mario RPG. They're like, oh wow, you guys actually did something good. Yeah, we're gonna quietly forget about that and also ruin it.
But even with that too, though, like that was kind of a huge deal, though. 'Cause Super Mario RPG was almost, I think that was like the second highest grossing game for.
Yeah,
for
but
the
they
Mario
immediately
franchise.
forgot about it because Nintendo doesn't really like to like. they're kind of letting the people do that with Zelda right now, but they don't really like to let a lot of other developers make games for them because again, Paper Mario and Super Mario RPG are very, very different to traditional Mario games because traditional Mario games are obviously side scroll except for the 3D ones. But both of those have completely wildly different gameplay styles that Nintendo never does with these characters. So they kind of quietly forget about them.
Unlike that Paper Mario shit that no one gives a fuck. My games are
people
actually
love the
getting
game.
releases.
People love Paper Mario. Nintendo doesn't.
And what game were you gonna mention? What game were you gonna mention?
Destroy All Humans, Spyro the Dragon, Crash,
Destroy
All
Crash,
Humans. Destroy All Humans went into
okay.
irrelevancy until they came out with this remake. No one remembered that shit. Everyone fucking
Who
remembers
cares?
Paper Mario.
Mario got this. Okay, like Spyro, sure, people were interested in it. Crash probably was a bit more popular than both those combined. Nobody cares about. No one cares about Destroy All Humans. What are you
That's
talking
what you
about?
think until it becomes a
No,
big
people do
seller
care
again.
about that.
It's literally it's again, it's to that cult level where it's like, hey, the people that like it love it, but again, the reason the series didn't go that far was THQ was a poorly run company, and also people weren't that interested. But Paper Mario was up there with Super Mario RPG.
I think your bias is showing because when it
What?
comes to
Yeah,
I think
quite a
your
bit.
bias is
Yeah,
showing because you
when
hate
it comes-
Nintendo.
when it
I don't
comes
like
to-
Paper
okay,
Mario.
Stop
What are you
interrupting so
talking
goddamn.
God
You can't
damn
hear
it,
a fucking
Alan.
thing, Alan.
No.
Jesus.
I'm just saying Paper Mario was much more well-liked than fucking Destroy All Humans.
then why hasn't it got a re-release yet?
Paper
They-
Mario
yeah,
because they're
it
making
did.
more games.
And they did get re-released, by the way.
When?
Like on the Wii and the Wii U, like the first Super Mario, Paper Mario, whatever the fuck. I hate that super part.
Paper
always
Mario.
put in there. No one ever says super when it comes to Mario. But anyways,
Yeah.
like those Paper Mario games, yeah, they did get re-releases as well as the Wii U one. I think it's gonna get re-release the sequel, because that was on Wii U.
Yeah, and like the second one from the GameCube is probably one of the most popular Paper Mario games to come out, to where people are still going back and playing
It
that
was a
and still
handheld
making a
seller.
bunch of fan art.
Yeah.
And you can't say my bias is showing. I don't like those games.
No, but you have a bias against
That's
which
literally
God
the
just said.
definition of bias. You say you don't like those games, so when I'm pointing up a
No. I'm not talking
fact-
about Humans. I'm talking about Paper Mario.
No, but you also have a despite.
Actually, I don't despise the Destroy All Humans. I actually am anticipating the remake.
Yeah, I like those games too. But it's just like better than Paper Mario, more well liked. I don't fucking think so.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Especially when it comes to just like the whole mascot hype of it. It's like one has Mario, one doesn't. It's like just
Honestly,
by that
like,
alone.
if we're talking about mascots, the closest that ever got to competing with Mario was Master Chief, but they fucked that after 3.
Master Chief was not close at all. I think. In my
Nah, he
opinion.
was. He was in terms of like the way they promoted him. They always had the guy come out. He was in every artwork they had for any kind of fucking press release. He was their Sonic.
Well, I want to bring up one thing
Nah.
about Master Chief too, really quick, because this is
What's up?
something that I felt kind of funny. E3, did you guys feel like they were like, "Oh, here he comes, this is badass," and no one really reacted? Like when I looked at Master Chief, I was like, y'all came too
What?
late, man. No one gives a fuck right now.
Nah, they need to get that guy from the Bethesda conference. Woo!
No shit, right? Yeah.
Woo, card
Master-
games.
The Master Chief collection is gonna be fun just because it's gonna be the old fucking Halo
Did you
collection.
get Reach again?
And for people like all of us that are like, you just supported the re-release of man, fuck you. Anyways, talking about Master Chief, when it comes to people like actually wanting to play these levels over again, like a certain Mario game, people enjoy that shit. It takes them back to nostalgia, and the biggest aspect about this is they're doing the multiplayer over again, which is something that I really enjoy because I really hated when they try to switch to like copy the Call of Duty formula of package drops and all that bullshit.
Mhm.
I like the basic Halo combat system from the multiplayer, and the fact that they're going to just redo the levels and give us a better server so we can play these games again. I might pull it up occasionally, just the way that Alan does with the Battlefield games, just because I'm a huge fan of the series and I want to play that multiplayer style again because it's something I'm accustomed to and it's something I enjoy.
Yeah.
Again,
But besides
Who
that, it's
are
not
you-
going to be big.
who are you arguing with? I don't like the Halo series. Stop fucking trying to throw this shit on me.
You, Alan, you
You were just making. I know you were like gone for a week, so you forgot who I am. I don't like Halo.
I'm like a dog. If you're not around, I can't.
The only,
can't
I
remember.
like Reach's fucking horde mode because I love fucking horde modes and just shooting enemies until I
I
fucking
bet
die.
you love not being on horror mode.
At least I know what I'm talking about. You just keep making shit up.
Do you?
This is the third time in this podcast you've forgotten what I like and don't like.
Okay, but it's really hard to know what you like and don't like because there's certain things
I
that you
literally
enjoy.
said multiple times.
See,
I'm not a
that's
huge
how I
fan
can
of.
be absorbed because like we can't even talk. You just jump on it. I was about to defend you.
You guys know you-
Alan, I'm on your side this time. We gotta jump him.
Yeah, okay.
Literally, like, it's funny because, like, as I start with Alan, because we're so used to arguing with each other, I'm, like, about to go into defending him. Like, well, in Alan's defense, and Alan's like, well, that's the thing, you fucking... I'm like, man...
I'm used to you giving me shit, so yeah.
Jesus Christ, contentious as fuck over there.
Well, fuck yeah.
But here's the thing, though, man. Yeah, it's just like... I can understand, too, from both of you guys' points, especially, like, there's so many things that you do like, Alan, that I am surprised that you don't like Halo. Like, that's something that really kind of shocked me. And I don't know if it was the gravity system that you don't like, or just the character of the story, or just, you just didn't play
that's
it.
That's actually the what you said, the character in the story. I legit think that Halo's story is... Halo's story, to me, is the Star Wars Extended Universe, in which there's very little story there, but most of it was made up by the fans. Because you get Halo 1, and it's just aliens shoot them in the face. That's the whole fucking story. This guy that barely has 4 lines of dialogue goes shoot aliens in the face, and people loved it. It was fucking great. And then the second was like, oh no, there's actually this deep story about the Halos and aliens and the universe and cyclical stupid shit. But we're not really gonna talk about that. We're just gonna have you play as both the bad guy and the good guy, which is fucking amazing. And then 3 comes like, we're gonna finish the story and fight. I'm like, what story? You are just making this up as you go along. Yeah. And then fucking ODST comes out, which is really fucking... I love ODST because again, it's a small little soldier story. It's like Saving Private Ryan in the fucking Halo universe, which is great. And then Reach comes out, and I almost fucking shot myself. That game was awful.
So here's the thing, though. I'm looking over here. I like how this title is called Discover Hope for the new Halo Infinite trailer. And Discover Hope really does fit for this franchise because they're trying to discover some kind of hope for this fucking this game to continue.
Halo 4 killed them. There's no way to look about. Like, and the worst part is it had a really good hype because it was playing that angle of where the hero goes back, and it just fucked that all up from what I hear in the game story and how it actually done. It seems like what Halo, like all the extra stuff does well, because the one reason I was hyped for Halo 4 was because they had a podcast series that copied it, which was really well done and really well acted, where they were trying to make a universe where each of these podcasts were audio log of this news reporter from the time period that Master Chief's in. And he just talks about like what's going on, why the Spartan program, all this stuff, and just giving people an actual story that's going on with the series. But all that gets portrayed with the actual game story itself because they don't know what they're fucking doing.
Yeah.
They haven't known what they were doing since the third one. The third one feels final and ending because they thought it was.
Yeah.
I mean, until they fucking made it. But the thing is, like, no, gotcha. 5 is the one where they had the whole thing. 4 was actually the first time 343 Studios made a Halo, and I was like, okay, this is like, I like Halo 4. I like Halo 4 a lot.
No, 4 is where they fight those robot things, right?
Yeah, the weird robot alien.
Yeah,
things,
5 is when the Covenant comes back. Why? Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't play 5 just because it was on the Xbox One, and I heard such bad things. I had such high hopes for it because I was like, "Oh, this is so cool." It reminds me of 2, and I'm like, I heard they dropped the ball so hard. But apparently, people like the multiplayer. So, but yeah, no, this is definitely one of those things where it's like Halo 6 is like, well, shit, we have to kind of get people back. That's why they're kind of going back to basics of like, hey, we're waking up like you're in Halo 2. And we're like, hey, let's go back to basics. Let's try to get people back to what Halo was, which Master Chief saying fucking half his lines are, we have to fight. Fight who? Fight. Like, you just looked out a window and saw nothing. You said we got to fight. Who the fuck are we fighting? He just says things in hopes that somebody else will fucking do that. And then we're just going to shoot a bunch of aliens in the face.
Yeah, and everything is such a fucking, like, you just kind of, like, leave it hanging on, like, the hype of whoever's watching it. So it's like, we need to, and then the music, fight. And I'm like, okay, like you.
My nipples just got hard. You talking about that?
No, but it's just like weird. Like even in the old days too. Like it's because I would understand like Discover Hope, blah blah blah. It's been so long since Halo has even been out, blah blah blah. I get how that could be kind of hype. But for back in the day, even Halo 1, 2, 3, all those trailers always had a moment like that. They always had some weird Master Chief like drops the bomb at the end of the fucking trailer. It says this really cool thing with music playing behind it, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you keep doing the same hype filled fucking little. It's like you gotta change it up a little bit. Like one ways I feel like was done the right way. Do you remember the Dead Space 3 trailer? Basically, it's a
I remember the Dead Space 2 trailer.
Cool. There was like a live action Dead Space 3 trailer where basically.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and this dude was walking up. He was in the snow, and he walks up to the fucking like this big hole in the ground where all the aliens from the the Dead Space universe showed up, and they're playing their own version of "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins. And it's so fucking cool, but there's no dialogue, and that's what makes it even cooler. Is that this guy's mask comes on, you know what I mean? So before he goes in there, and you see his lifeguard thing on his back. Yeah, Isaac, that's the name. I wanted to say Alan, but then I didn't want you to think that I'm talking about you. It's like Alan's like, yeah, I remember when I took off.
I remember when I played Dead Space. I was in Dead Space 3.
But yeah, this dude, like the mask comes on, and everything. I'm pretty sure people probably remember it. But it's like sometimes not saying words is what makes it cool. You know what I mean? Sometimes just showing me. Showing me that there was a big hole in the ground is enough. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about Dead Space works because Dead Space always had a story. Like my biggest problem with I have the same problem with Halo that I have with Gears. Of we're gonna pretend like we actually have a actual narrative. Like Gears eventually did, like by the second one, even though they had to make it all up, but they stuck to it for the second, third, and fourth game. Halo to me has always had this bare minimum of a story because it's always been multiplayer from the very fucking get go. It was like let's try to do something that's Call of Duty but a bit more going on. But it's always been super light on story. So them trying to do this whole thing of finish the fight, it's like, yeah, okay, finish the multiplayer game before your mom bakes your cookies, like or bakes your fucking hot pockets. Like, what the fuck is actually like the fucking story? Because the story is the story is stupid.
The story is actually really fucking well done. The problem is, and this is something
fucking lie to me.
God damn it, let me talk, you little motherfucker. But when it comes to like the story, and I'm actually giving you credit too. That's the worst part. What me and you can agree on this. A lot of the story is built around the extra stuff you find within the world itself. So if you just play the game itself, basically like I'm gonna kill all characters from point A to Z, you're not gonna know what the fuck you've been doing this for the whole time. You gotta go to terminals. You gotta find tablets. You gotta get lucky and find these hidden things that some aliens are holding in their hands. Hell, sometimes the skulls even told you some story stuff. So all the lore is based around the background shit. And it's something that people hated from Destiny that I don't know why the fuck they decided was a good idea to continue with that. Because that started in the Halo franchise. But by the second and third one, that's when they realized they had something going on, especially with the tensions that happened with the books that later make the story more solidified with the Spartan program, Master Chief, and all that. So they were able to run with the story from the second one and the third one. The problem is, if you were just a hardcore gamer of the series and never actually gone to the extra stuff, you're literally being dropped into the middle of seasons every game.
No, that's actually that and Gears of War are the reasons I utterly refuse to go and go read the books to understand. No, fuck you. It should be, if you're talking about story-based gameplay, put it in the fucking game. Don't put it in a terminal or some random fucking note on the ground, and I won't understand half of your bullshit. I even had a screaming match with a friend of mine who read the books, and I'm like, what the fuck is emulsion in Gears of War? What the fuck is emulsion? They keep talking about it, but what the fuck is it?
Yo, I'll tell you this much. I thought it was still on Earth.
Dude, okay. Oh my god, I'm going on a fucking rant about Gears of War, how fucking stupid the goddamn story is. So Gears of War, they literally tell you absolutely nothing. We don't even know if we're fucking humans. We don't actually know if we're on Earth or not. We don't know they're actually aliens. We know literally nothing except for the fact that we just gotta go from point A to point B to beat the fucking game. The second game, the little first lines of dialogue of, we're fighting for humanity, we're trying to save this planet. Apparently it's a different fucking planet. They make up the entire lore in the first 5 minutes by some motherfucker who apparently is the fucking president. But what's the actual story of Gears of War? We gotta find Dom's wife. So, no. Forget the lore and the war and all this stuff happens. No. We're going to spend the entire game trying to find one person's fucking wife when all this bullshit is happening to a character whose wife gets mentioned offhand in the first fucking game, randomly in a dialogue on a fucking boat. Like you barely even hear someone goes, oh, how's Maria? Oh, Maria's good. You can miss that if you're busy paying attention to everything else that's going on in the game.
Or finish your hot Cheeto.
No, here's the thing. I got to tell you, this is where me and you will always disagree on certain things, especially when it comes to story writing or whatever, because the reason why that even works, like when it comes to these games, if they have a certain amount of dialogue, a certain amount of lines about this particular person and they're not showing up yet, then you already have predicted what's going to happen. At no point, I knew enough about Maria because I actually paid attention playing the game, and I knew enough about her to know that she existed. But then, like, when she actually ends up showing up in the fucking game, it's like, oh shit, I'm still shocked. Even though I know she exists. I know she's with the Stranded, or what are they called? Those people that
the Locusts.
Well, no, but there's people that are human still, but they're not. They're called.
Like, I forgot what their names are.
I'm pretty sure they're called the Stranded, but who knows? But anyways, it's like, I know that she's gonna be with them because even in the first game they don't bring up Maria or even say her name or even mention that Dom has a wife, but they focus a lot on these types of people and they kind of bring up like, yeah, this might affect us later on. Like that's something that passed on from game to game. Even after her death, the third game does that even more. The Stranded is very, very important. And I like how JP says, hello, crazy people.
But no, the thing is, that's the thing. They do actually mention it. That's what I was saying. They do mention her in Gears of War. Literally, there's a point in the sequence in which you're going to go on this weird boat across the thing. I think you get attacked by bats. And at one point, somebody goes, because a friend of mine's like, no, they mentioned in the first game. Like, some guy asked Dom, hey, how's Maria? And he goes, she's fine. And then the second game, like this character, it's like you barely got characterization in the first one outside of the fucking stereotypes. So the fact that we spend the entire game looking for this dude's fucking wife, and it's like, yeah, they talk about it over the course of the game, but I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Well,
I don't fucking care.
But the guy's wife, he would care about his wife.
But like, I don't care about him or his wife or any of the things that are going on. I care much more about, I don't know, this giant fucking world that they spent the first fucking 20 minutes of the first opening cutscene trying to explain to me, but none of that fucking matters. What is emulsion?
you clearly don't get it because
it's a chemical signal that happens in the brain.
Yeah, thank you, Ganja. Thank you.
Emulsion is a chemical signal that happens in the brain. So in the first one, they go into a cave and it's full of emulsion. That's a what?
I think that's just feelings and shit.
They literally go into in the fucking first game. They literally go into this weird cabin and the guy goes, "Wow, look at all that emulsion. What the fuck is emulsion?"
Okay, I think it's emotion.
I'm making fun of Alan because he's saying emulsion, but he's dropping the I so hard it sounds like an E.
Yeah, no, I thought you were saying emotion. That's why I was
arguing.
Oh,
emotion. No, my bad.
That's why I said it's a chemical that fucking occurs in your brain now.
Yeah, you're talking so goddamn fast. I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
I'm so mad. I'm still mad about Gears of War.
No, like now you might have had a point this whole time.
Mad.
But I can't tell because it's like so many words, so many voices, and
He's
then you're
got
at speed.
emotion taking.
I'm emotional.
No, because like, okay, I love story-based gameplay. So when someone tells me, "Oh man, Gears of War has a great story-based gameplay," I fucking have to roll my eyes and go, "Oh my god, does it have great gameplay?" Yes, that's why. Why do you think I remember Gears of War so much, 1 and 2? Because I beat that game multiple times. Because I love playing it. It's a fun game to play. The story there is fucking awful.
One of these days we'll talk about that. When Gears of War 5 comes out, I want to review the entire franchise with you, and I'm gonna make sure it's just me and you because any other extra voices, I'm not gonna understand a certain small, subtle point that you end up making because it's just hard to understand sometimes. But 100%, like 110%, I disagree with you. Like I think that's like on the top 5 most disagreeable things I've heard you say. In this
Bullshit. That list changes every day.
Because you keep coming up with new ways to fuck it up. Like, it's like, holy
I'm
shit.
sorry, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anyone, any man, woman,
this
child,
dude
any day
said
of
the
the
climax of Child's Play was better than the rest of the movie. People.
Yeah, it was, because actually something happened.
Climax,
oh my god.
A climax where a little boy cries and sings the Buddy song.
I meant the whole thing as soon as because the climax starts when they walk into the store when actually something happens. Yeah, the warehouse itself when they have the final confrontation, sure. But that whole like 15-20 minute sequence is the climax of the fucking movie, and it's the only interesting part because something fucking happens as opposed to the rest of the dumbass hour fucking movie prior.
You are my buddy. You are my friend.
Oh, well, you like the movie, so fuck you.
Till the end. No,
remember the guy that actually liked the movie, so.
So full of shit. I swear to fuck.
You're so full of shit. You're biased. You are biased to horror movie. I said that during the review last time, and I'll say it again. When it comes to horror movies, you have this bias where you'll forgive the stupidest characters, the most ridiculous bullshit, the shit that gets made up in the last act because there's blood and violence. You like horror movies, and you're willing to forgive all this bullshit.
Yeah, you like those horror movies, Nick.
I'm not saying that as a bad thing, or
you're
no.
argue.
Nick.
Like I love them.
I'm not saying that as a bad thing, or you dumb, like whatever. But you have to admit you have a bias to these things because Ma and Child's Play are very similar movies, and they're both not good.
Alan, like I know you're saying a lot of words to this. I don't know if you're expecting an argument. Everyone knows I love horror movies. So like
yes, but
that goes without saying. Like yeah,
no, you don't. You hate Jason.
I do hate the Jason movies, but that's different. That's some bullshit.
Motherfucker likes Jason X.
Yeah, one. See, now this is where you just don't pay attention, Alan.
You like Jason X?
So you just repeated the same thing that made you look stupid the first time? Like I'm saying, like.
Did you like Jason
Go
X?
ahead, baby. Say what you're going to say.
No. I'm saying, do you not like the movie?
Oh my god. Yes. That's the third time you try to say that point, and it doesn't hold any water. What the fuck are you trying to do here? Like, yeah, I like the one movie out of 11. Like, you do realize that me liking one movie doesn't mean I like an entire franchise, which also completely negates your whole point of bias because Jason's one of the biggest horror movie villains of all time, and I don't like any of the movies.
You like the remake, which you said when I was arguing that there aren't any good Jason movies.
Okay,
you like Jason X. So it's like there are those. Oh, you're right. Jason's one of the worst fucking movie horror franchises. But you like one of the worst fucking ones.
Subjectively to you.
A lot of people don't like fucking Jason X. It's not just me.
Well, a lot of people, yeah, true. But then there's also one that doesn't have Jason in the movie at all. There's also another one that's actually made by a porn director. And by the way, also, there's no Jason in there. There's a guy wearing a hockey mask who kills somebody for eating a chocolate bar. But you don't like Jason X. Holy goddamn fart fucks.
I'm not saying Jason 5 is a good movie.
I'm going to go ahead
I just think Jason X is worse.
I'm going to go ahead and start some discourse here. I don't think that was... From all the Jason movies I watched, well, technically Friday the 13th, but who the fuck is calling it that? We're gonna call it
exactly.
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But just like fucking Chucky is Child Play. No one's calling it fucking Child Play. Fuck out of here. But You know, I didn't think that Jason movie was the worst one.
But the fifth one?
Was that the fifth one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
one
didn't
with
think it was the worst.
Oh no, oh man.
Okay, Nick, is it okay? Like 0 out of 10, 1 out of 10. Like that's what we're kind of comparing. Like, is 5 bad? Of course it's bad. It's stupid. It's terrible.
Andrew's got a point. It's a beautiful comedy.
Nah, man, I'm sorry, but like I could take a certain level of stupid. One of my favorite bad movies of all time is The Happening, but the way fucking Jason X starts.
And you're talking about bias is like you like Mark Wahlberg. That's why you like that movie, because you've admitted to that on the show at least 50 times.
I like Mark Wahlberg, yes, but the reason I like The Happening is because everyone in that movie is the biggest dumbass in the fucking world.
See, I have no problem admitting this, but I'm kind of lost in the conversation. What are y'all arguing?
It's no use. Like all I'm saying is like you gotta be careful what you say, because it's like, hey, you're biased. That's why you like it. It's like, well, the whole point is like I've been talking shit about Jason and some Michael movies, etc. Like I've been talking shit about this stuff for a long time. And keep in mind, the whole point of the Chucky thing I brought up is like I actually don't like the most Chucky-ish part, and you do. So it's not my bias defending it. I'm talking shit about it. So what the fuck point are you trying to make?
You're talking shit about a portion of the movie, and you're basically saying, how do you like, this part that's so stupid? I'm like, how do you like the rest of the movie?
And guess what?
That's
The rest of the
my
movie
point.
and the rest of the movie is not really horror based. I like it for its non-horror aspects. So your bias point does not hold any water. It makes no sense.
It does, because again, the genre of the movie is horror, so a lot of stuff that goes in there are stuff to continue the horror aspect, the aspect to kind of get you on your edge of when this shit's gonna happen, and that's the worst part of the fucking movie. It's the same thing with Ma, because Ma and Child's Play are very similar in their build up to the end. They're very similar in that sense of like, at one point this person is gonna snap. This person is basically getting more and more crazier as the fucking movie goes on until it fucking happens. Like, I'm not saying they're the exact same. I'm only saying they have very similar builds up until their payoffs at the end. And you hate the payoff of this movie, which blows my mind because that's the only interesting part of this movie.
But that's how most movies are done. Like that's why I have an issue with like the focus part, because it's like this same thing happens with movies like they're non-horror, like Falling Down with Michael Douglas. The whole movie, and this is how a movie is. This is how a story is. This is how basic writing is. Something builds to a climax. So whether or not it's a horror movie, a comedy, or what, the thing is like, if there's a character who's gonna lose his mind, it's gonna be gradual. Do you expect the person to like shill over the place and yank their balls off in the beginning? Like even one.
Are we watching a Crank sequel? Because that might happen. But no.
Like no, but like, another example. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Jack Nicholson. He's gonna freak the fuck out towards the end. It's gonna get increasingly crazy. At first, he's just like a crazy dude. He's like in this weird situation. It's kind of funny. It's kind of comical. At the end, you build the villain and the good guy, and it builds and builds and builds until you get a climax. That's how Ma is, okay. Chucky is. That's how action, comedy, that's how romance is.
Okay, I'm not arguing the basic literary structure of a story. I'm arguing that the fact that in both, again, Child's Play and Ma, the buildup is so boring and repetitive that it repeats the same fucking bullshit.
You're saying subjective stuff. Like, yeah.
No, I'm not saying subjective stuff. They have party sequences in Ma.
Boring is literally a subjective term, dude. Like, I'm trying to help you here, but like,
okay, but I'm saying that the reason is the case is they do the same. Ma repeats the same fucking part, like the same fucking party sequence over again with these stupid ass characters. I'm not saying build up to a climax is bad. That's how fucking stories are in. I'm saying in order for the climax to be interesting, because I saw a movie recently, reviewed it on fucking Screen to Squad, True Fiction, and it's a bottle film. They're in this one fucking room, and it does the same thing where you're not sure what's real, you're not sure what's going on, and it builds up to an incredible climax. But it actually is able to keep you guessing of what actually is going on. With Ma, it's like there's no guessing. You know what the fuck's gonna happen, and even the in between stuff, it's like, again, they keep repeating the same fucking. Let's go to hang out at a party. Let's go hang out with this crazy person that put a gun to my face in the first meeting we ever had with her. The only reason that movie continues is because the main characters are so fucking unbelievably, unrealistically stupid, and then it just keeps repeating itself.
Well, anyways, you know it's not subjective. Stranger Things is gonna be coming out on Netflix. This is the final trailer, and Alan, why don't you tell me what you think about this, man?
It's weird because this is almost the same thing with Toy Story, where it's like the first Stranger Things, I didn't really like it till the last 4 episodes. I was like, this nostalgia thing's not really working for me. But then season 2, they're like, let's dwell more into the world, the powers, the characters, and it was fucking amazing. I fucking loved season 2. I watched, I binged that shit in one sitting. And it felt like it had a really definitive ending. The characters got to where they need to go, relationships were formed, and it felt like other kids were going to grow up and eventually do their thing. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be over. If they do another Stranger Things, it's gonna be with a different people, different area of the world. But then hearing that they're gonna stick with the same characters, they're gonna add more characters. It's like a year or so later. I'm like, this is the end. I'm like, this feels like Toy Story, where I'm like, we kind of got to end last season. What are they really gonna do? I don't see them continuing this, but I'll still check it out because I like season 2 so much.
Yeah, Ganja, did you watch any of Stranger Things at all?
No, I was never really interested in this series because a lot of it was based around like this 80s nostalgia shit. And it doesn't really pique me as much because I got to watch a lot of those films when I was younger. So as an adult, I don't want to relive that certain type of nostalgia because I feel like it only works well when I was a kid. Because now when I see kids in danger, the only time it really hypes me up if it's done in like a real hardcore horror movie, like 20 Weeks Later is with those kids. But when it comes to Stranger Things, it's a lot of that of it stuff where I know they're going to come out the end, so I'm just going to watch the movie for what it is. And from what I hear, Stranger Things it's starting to fall off a little bit. Like the first 2 seasons are great, but now it's starting to show its age a little bit. So I've never really given it a chance. I like the imagery of the monsters and some of their use of neon. I think that is fucking well done. The use of lighting. I know that's gonna make somebody bust, but besides that, I've never really been interested in the series.
Yeah, really quick, Jay, I'm gonna ask you, and I don't know if you've watched season 1 or 2 yet, but if you haven't, what has been that thing that's kept you from actually checking this out?
I'm glad you say like if you haven't, because I definitely did. 80s nostalgia, definitely. It's just I see that so much to where it's just like if I see anything that's gonna have anything having to do with 80s nostalgia or any type of nostalgia, I'm just like, nah. I mean, I'll pass. Not interested.
One thing I'm having an issue with too is just I'm getting sick of child actors and child characters because of the fact that, for one, they tried to do this thing where it's like, hey, isn't it going to be a weird dynamic if like this kid talks like an adult and cusses and has like these rebellious attitudes? And granted, I am talking out of ignorance somewhat because I didn't see Stranger Things at all, but I've noticed it in It, I've noticed it in Shazam, I've noticed it in lots of fucking movies. I've even noticed it in Chucky. Okay, I'll even tell you that much. The 2019 Child's Play, I've noticed it.
Well, they got Bad Boys that's coming out. That's the whole premise is that.
Good Boys, you mean?
Good Boys, Bad Boys.
Yeah, Bad Boys and
was
Martin.
part of it.
Well, Martin and Will Smith actually are children too, so I guess I can get that. But no, man, like I am sick of kids, man. Like I'm not trying to sound like an asshole or I don't want some fucking meme to come out like Nick Diaz doesn't like kids, which by the way I will admit to that some kids are fucking annoying. But no, it's just like that's a dynamic that's like I'm seeing people do and no one's doing it differently. Like Shazam, the bullies are the same, the friends are the same. The way they always have these shots too of like all kids like squishing together to be in frame, so it looks really cool how they're looking down at the camera. Oh man, these are a band of friends. They're pretty cool dudes, right? No, they're not cool dudes. You're just like every other fucking movie that I saw in the 80s, and you didn't modernize any of it. It just looks better. So fuck you.
The thing is, I do like the kids in both It and Stranger Things because I feel like they're good actors. With Shazam, it varied between who the fuck you're looking at. But it's like, again, we're so used to kids actors being generally terrible. So it's like when you see kid actors that are actually good, it's really fucking refreshing. And it's like, yeah, kids relative because I'm sure, like, I don't think any of them are 18 or they're really, really, like, they might be 50, 60. So it's like, they're still very, very young. But it's just one of those things. Yeah, as long as they're good actors, that's what matters to me. I'm watching a story, so make me believe you're actually in these situations.
Yeah, no, and what you call? I don't know why Rox is in the chat saying, "Ganja, you still ain't off the hook, man." I guess
I have a feeling I'm about to get anally strapped soon.
Okay. Anyways, he went to the top shelf, folks.
Hey, the top shelf's always the best. You don't buy the bottom beer liquor when you go to the bar.
Yeah, you do.
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, he's going to the top shelf. Damn right. Don't waste your money.
Man, okay. It's odd with the context of you getting anally raped. That's all I'm saying. Oh, wait, it's consensual, so it's fine.
Please stop.
No, it was definitely consensual. I just got to bite the
No, wait, move on.
I'm actually curious to see how Alan's going to argue about your anal rape. I'm just like, if we continue talking
No,
about it.
like I said, it's consensual. I'm just going to have to bite the pillow.
Move on.
Here's another thing too. Okay, we'll move on, but we're gonna move on to another argument. Most likely, you recently, and we're on the show when you brought this up, and I think in the after hours, you were talking about how you don't like Danny Boyle, and how you don't want 28 Days Later to be, resurface at all. You don't like these movies. Why?
Well, it was funny because like I think you saw them Children of Tilt, and I started a fucking fight. I'm sorry.
You did?
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, because someone posted a similar news story. 28 Days Later, the very first one that has the guy that's in Dunkirk and Inception.
Cillian Murphy.
Yes, Cillian Murphy's in a lot of Christopher Nolan movies. The first one I actually really legit enjoyed. I was like, this is a good movie. It was interesting. I see where a lot of inspiration for other stuff like Walking Dead and other zombie-related stories came from. I like the world. I was like, okay, it's kind of cool. The ending was a little bit like, wow, this guy has superpowers and takes out fucking mercenary men. But like, whatever. I enjoyed the flow. That second one, 28 Weeks Later, is a colossal pile of shit that the only reason it made somewhat sense... No, I'm sorry. That movie is a colossal stupid pile of shit, and the only fucking reason some of the stuff made sense is because Ganja had to explain to me that it's all a Iraq war metaphor, but there's such stupid shit like the fucking father that you meet at the start of the movie who's a colossal piece of shit. I'm like, okay, cool. That's interesting that he's such a piece of crap that he's willing to let everyone die so he lives himself, becomes the fucking zombie right away, and then chases them throughout the entire fucking movie. I'm like, what the fuck is this stupid shit? They're running across, they're fighting helicopters and shit just to get this one fucking scientist to do this stupid shit. I'm like, fuck this fucking movie, this bloated piece of shit. Legit one of the worst. We saw both right after each other. Like literally 20 days and 28 weeks. I fucking hate that second movie.
I'm gonna ask Jet, should I fight really hard for this, or should I just kind of like talk about the story more so than just argue with him?
I don't even know what 14 Weeks Later even is, so
Good.
I mean,
The prequel.
yeah, I mean, you go ahead and have fun with that. I'll just be here listening.
Okay, here's the thing, Alan. The guy wasn't a piece of shit. If you focused, the whole point in the dialogue in the movie, and they both even had a small talk in the kitchen silently about it. The movie starts off with this, okay? Sometimes the first part of the movie is the most important part. That's where the story is. And the premise is they are staying there and doing whatever the fuck they can to get like refugees, etc., get like supplies and just deal with what they gotta deal with until the government can bring them in to be with their kids. That's why the kids are not there in the beginning. The whole point is for them to get back to their kids. If there's zombies in a room that's destroying an entire house full of people, someone has to get to the kids. The wife is not gonna get there.
But but I get what you're saying 100%. Is that, but he abandons her.
Should I show it on screen?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying like, oh, he's the worst person in the world and I hate the movie because of that.
No, you just said that.
I did. I said he's a piece. I said he is a piece of shit, and I said immediately afterwards, like, that's fine for this movie because focus you. But the thing is, he abandons the fucking wife. That's like the thing. Situation's like, oh wow, this guy kind of sucks. And then when he becomes a zombie, that's my problem. Is when he becomes a zombie and then chases them throughout the whole fucking movie. That's my problem with the character. Not that he, abandons. Like, I fucking get it. Sure, I get it, but it still makes you I'm sorry, you abandon your fucking wife for her to get eaten. You're not exactly going to be the best person in my books.
Okay, yeah, I guess. So, Danny Boyle has confirmed that the third installment of the 20 Days Later franchise is going to be in the works. It's been a long time. It says 16 years, which I didn't even know that. Apparently, it's been 16 years since 28 Weeks Later. I feel like it's going to be kind of cool. I will say I really wish this would have been like on a fucking...
What?
TV series instead. I don't think that it should be a big movie again, because it's one of those situations too where I don't think zombies are going to get people inside the movie theater anymore, because you get so much zombies on TV, you get so many zombies in video games and on Netflix. Why would I go pay extra money to see the same shit I already fucking watch? That's the one thing that's kind of weird.
Are they going to keep the naming convention and call it 28 years later or months later? I guess that would be the I think 28 months. Yeah,
or fuck it, say 28 days ago. And just talk about how the virus started, and because that's the thing, like every time we see one of these things, it's almost like it's so much into the future, the whole like weeks later thing, that the whole premise of the movie is like knee deep in the middle of when this shit's already going on, and I want to see like, okay, let me see the beginnings of it, let me see how this shit like gradually got worse and worse and worse. I mean, you even discussed it before, Alan, where it's like, I hate when zombie movies start off where it's like these slow motherfuckers come out. How does everyone get infected? Couldn't you guys fuck them up? And I would like to have that explained, you know what I mean? Because I kind of agree with you there for once. So.
Well, the thing, unfortunately, the reason they never do that is because zombies are so, like, maybe the 28 fucking them because they're faster, it'll be easier. But I'm going to say this, I'm sorry, zombies will never in a million years ever fucking destroy the world, because in America alone, motherfuckers will shoot each other in front of a Wendy's for fun. You mean to tell me a bunch of fucking homeless people that are gonna bite you aren't gonna immediately get shot multiple fucking times? The cops will take care of it themselves.
How many of those kills in front of Wendy's or whatever the fuck are right into the head? By the way, nah.
Sure, but like if someone's gonna get back up, they're gonna keep shooting, and eventually they'll get enough of the fucking head. Like, dude, like cops fucking shot some dude in a car like 55 fucking times. I'm sure a few of those are gonna take out a zombie, but it's like that's my biggest problem is in a world in guns. I don't understand how zombies can ever actually work. That's why they always said it. Like, The Walking Dead is like 6 months after zombie apocalypse. So we can just make up whatever we need to and only show it in little flashbacks here and there and say, oh yeah, the military got overrun, and then just show a city exploding. It's like, okay, because if you actually try to do the start, it doesn't really work. I mean, 28 Days Later kind of did that a little bit, where they said, oh, it's this virus that unlocks your rage or some stupid shit. And then they just skipped to, again, a month and a half later. But yeah, you can never really do the start because you're never going to really get people to believe that this could happen. You always get glimpses. Last of Us starts off with zombies kind of going everywhere. What was it? Walking Dead gives you a little bit. Fear the Walking Dead's entire point was this, by the way. It was trying to start the zombie apocalypse, and what did they do after the first season? They said, fuck it, and skip 6 months.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's one thing I didn't really like about Fear the Walking Dead, too. I think kind of what's up?
I'm going to jump in, because this is something y'all always know. I love me my zombies.
Mm-hmm.
I love the nurses. This is one of the few things me and Nick bonded off in our early days of friendship. Was the love of the George A. Romero series, all the zombies that came in there, and some of the extra stuff. The thing is, the way zombies can be done now has to be done in the light of a kind of politics to a certain degree, because that's the only way to keep it interesting. From a lot of people that I talked to that liked World War Z, even though I have very big problems with it because it was a far straight from the book, and I think the book would have been very more well done as a Netflix series, where you could have had interviews, you could have had the guy to go to different sites, especially as well as done Netflix does right now, especially with I think they did Chernobyl, right? Or is that HBO?
HBO did Chernobyl.
HBO did Chernobyl, but it goes to the same point that they're doing these like either 5 episode, 6 episode shows where they do high quality and they get a lot of retention time. I think with World War Z, it could have done that. But one of the things people like from the movie is it's not isolated in one area. The problem with a lot of zombie films, and 28 Weeks Later has a problem with this as well, but it tried to deal with it in a certain way, where there's nobody else but the area you're in dealing with the zombie effect, so it doesn't feel anything bigger than the grandiose hero's got to survive story or the survivor story. Whereas with a lot of these things now where people feel like they're more interconnected to the world, they feel like they actually can know what's going on in France, they know what's going on in London, they know what's going on in Germany. There's a more worldwide connection that goes on now, and I feel like World War Z touches on that aspect better, and I hope with the hint that we get out of the 20 Weeks Later ending, where they go to Paris, touches on this, where it's not just like one government or one body that's trying to fight these zombies like what you get from Walking Dead, where somehow the whole world's ended because the U.S. military lost a battle in San Diego, which makes no fucking sense. Where it's they actually show that people are trying to stop this virus. They're making safe zones. They have military engagements. They're doing like little brush fire wars with the zombies in order to secure places for people to actually have a chance to survival. And I feel that gives people, one, a sense of hope with the universe, and two, a sense of urgency, because it gives these government people a reason why they're not in the more personal stories that you could get out of a World War Z type scenario of having talking to local survivors like, hey, when the military abandoned this area, how did you make it? It's not because the military got destroyed, it's because they pulled out in order to maintain these other areas that you're going to hear about later in the series. So I'm interested to see if 20 weeks, 28 months, 28 fucking years, whatever the fuck they do, touches on that more, because I feel like that'll make more people interested in the series by making it more grandiose, more big than just, hey, we got to find this one place to survive and then maybe move on to the next place and we'll do shoot fireworks off there and then like Land of the Dead.
Yeah. No, I really do hope that, well, by the way, that was a really stupid-ass ending. Yep. Land of the Dead, but at the same time, though, it did make sense for whatever the world they were creating. So, I don't know. I'd be fine with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, have the whole place be surrounded by just fucking water or something, have, like, the zombies swim, which was crazy. But anyways.
What?
Yeah, that happened in Land of the Dead.
Oh, my fucking God. That's
That's
almost as stupid as Resident Evil 5 with the fucking zombies with fucking, like, Vietnam gear shooting you.
Yeah, okay. But,
that was stupid and you know.
Well, I don't like zombies using guns, but me and Nick have always had a disagreement there.
Well, no, like, that's the thing. I don't like it either, but, I mean, if they explain it, like, I mean, there were, at the time, Call of Duty was doing the Nazi Zombies thing. It was the biggest fucking thing going on. They sold tons and tons of copies of Black Ops, and the game was terrible, but that shit was selling them. So they were like, hey, let's copy this shit. And also, too, people like robots and Terminators. So let's not only make the zombies shoot guns, but they're also half robot and AI induced, too. So it's like, I saw what they were doing. Yeah, it looks stupid now when you look back. Of course. I feel you, Alan. I do.
Nick, are you hearing yourself? Oh man, the fucking Nazi zombies, man. That shit was up. It's like, yeah.
Nazi no, okay, but you say that, but then Dead Snow. Look at how huge that B movie Dead Snow was. That's from Germany. That was a massive fucking movie, and it's Nazi zombies with guns, by the way. And everyone was fine. So it's like we can't just shit on Resident Evil just because it's popular shit on Resident Evil when they did the same thing.
We can, yes, and I've actually never even heard of whatever the hell you're talking about, so I actually don't know what the fuck Dead Snow is or Dead Space or whatever you want.
But then, you know, you don't like horror movies. that bias.
Yeah, but well, yeah, yeah, well, yeah. What's that to do with anything? Anyway,
Well, no, because
I've never
it
seen the
goes back
movie.
to because narrative. Because you said that earlier with the stuff over here. It's like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how biases work, and it's not a bad thing that's a bias. It's just you don't like horror movies, so of course you wouldn't know, right? Like,
Yes, but I enjoyed the first one though.
Well,
you,
then
you
you're
just
a
say you
whore.
didn't watch Dead Snow. You just say you
I
didn't.
know. Sorry. I thought you were
You're
talking.
just a
no,
whore,
no.
then, Alan.
Jesus
No,
fucking.
not a fucker. I meant in regards to 28 Days Later, because 28 Days Later is a fucking horror movie, and I like that movie a lot. I think it was really, really fucking well done. But as far as like the Nazi zombies thing, there's zombies at the end of the fucking day. Like, yeah, sometimes they'll do some Left 4 Dead shit where they give them extra powers, but the Call of Duty zombies are generally just regular zombies. The things that were going on in Resident Evil, they're trying to make them like they've been trying to do this forever. Where let's try to turn these zombies and make them actual like fighting forces. Which, hey, give them weird fucking animalistic powers? Sure, fuck it, I can roll with that. Well, motherfuckers are wearing fucking like old World War II fucking helmets and firing AKs at me. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, but no, but yeah, I can't wait to see what Danny Boyle do. I know Danny Boyle just did the Yesterday movie with the Beatles, some fucking shit,
Really?
or the Beatles didn't exist or whatever.
That
And
was
like,
him? I mean, okay.
yeah, that was him. But the thing is, like, it's funny to see, like, okay, that must have been because I brought this up like in our pre-show for Double Toasted yesterday, where I was like, what's going on with someone obviously doing this fucking thing to like just be doing this passion project? Like, obviously, it has to be an old guy doing this because this world with Beatles and like current music does not make sense. No one would be fucking crying and being, oh my god, over Beatles today. There's
I
too much
don't
music
think
out
if
there.
you release Sgt. Pepper today, it'll be as big a hit as it was in the 70s when everyone was tripping balls.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But then again, what's the world like if no one remembers Beatles? Actually, just wow. You know what's funny? I've been giving Danny Boyle so much shit. He only did the first one. He didn't do the sequel. Who did the fucking sequel to 28 Days?
All right, I've never seen the movie, but I want to get my rant in because Alan's been yelling this whole time. This is something me personally I feel. If the world didn't have the Beatles, I'll tell you right now, nothing would have fucking happened. It would have been the same goddamn timeline, except you would have Sgt. Pepper and these fucking British dudes banging 14-year-olds in the American USA. All right, I'm tired of this fucking boomer shit where they think their music changed the goddamn world. It didn't do anything. All right, it made you get laid in your fucking father's car that the union paid for that you turned around and screwed in the 80s. Fuck you and your nostalgia.
And,
Okay, so as much as I'm not saying that Beatles are the most important thing in the world, that statement right now of people got laid because of the music is important because people were born because of the music. People got married because of the music. So it's like, yeah, sure, the Beatles didn't fucking shoot JFK, but like their music did influence that, and it's curious to see like how many people would not have been born, what events might have. You could generally, because it's a time travel story at the end of the fucking day. Like that's essentially what that fucking thing is. Hey, imagine this thing that this historical thing that happened never fucking happened. That's literally a time travel fucking story. So it's like I'm curious how that's actually gonna affect it. I don't think I want to watch the movie, but like I'm just curious. Like, hey, how does the fucking movie work?
well, the one thing too is just like him doing this because I know it has to be a passion project, and it's like if he's gonna be doing something like that, like that person who has a passion for this, I don't feel really gives a fuck about zombies. Like the thing that was cool about 20 Days Later is that it kind of like gave the middle finger to zombie movies and says, hey,
Yeah.
listen, this is how you fucking do it. Like we're making them run, we're making this fast paced. It's about rage. We don't use the word zombie. They're not coming out of the grave. It's not the shoot them in the head stupid fucking trope. Like it was almost like just I don't even think it was supposed to be a zombie movie. I think people just accepted it as that.
Oh, it wasn't because if I'm looking at Danny Boyle's career, this guy's did Train Spotting 1 and 2, Slumdog Millionaire, 127 Hours. He really doesn't do like quote unquote. He's not a George Romero where he's doing zombie movies all the time. 28 Days Later is the only one on here that's even in close to that genre. 28 Weeks Later, the one I hate, is a completely different fucking director. So it's like if he wants to make an actual sequel to the movie, let him. Because if he made the first one and he wants to be like, no, that fucking 28 Weeks Later is a piece of shit. I'm actually gonna make a better sequel to my movie. Let him do it. Because again, I'm looking at his fucking filmography here, and it's like I haven't seen a lot of these movies, but like 127 Hours looks. I want to see that fucking movie. It's a dude trapped in a fucking rock. It's basically a Gerald's Game before that happened. It's like he did Steve Jobs and Trainspotting. It's like, yeah, this guy seems to have a really good career of doing smaller movies that are more personal stories. So it's like, yeah, do a sequel to that fucking movie.
Yeah,
Was that the
one
one where the
part-
one dude got stuck in the rocks? Or whatever?
127 Hours.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what would make that movie more interesting?
No.
What?
He was stuck in the rocks and then underneath him were fucking zombies.
I mean, you're right.
That would be great. But no, like Juan Carlos, he's a guy who did 28 Weeks Later, and at the same time, like, you know, I mean, granted, he's saying he's a piece of shit, whatever. But like, you know, he didn't do a whole lot either. I mean, he produced like one episode on a couple of fucking TV shows, or I think one of the TV shows he did a lot. But like the other stuff, he's done just like, you know, I guess shorts. I don't even know. I read about him earlier. But yeah, like, these guys who do the 28 days, weeks, whatever fuck franchise, they don't really dabble in this shit. And I wish that somebody who actually does would do something. Like, I know it's a bad word nowadays, but Zack Snyder, like, have him, and Jed's gonna fucking slap me for this, and I do not like this guy, but James Gunn, have Zack Snyder, James Gunn get together again, and fuck Dawn of the Dead or whatever part 2. Just do another 28 days movie. You know, that would be great.
Why would I slap you? I just wouldn't watch the movie.
Okay, well, thank you.
I have to disagree with that because I think that get them to do the Dawn of the Dead stuff, sure, because that lends itself more. But the reason I enjoy 28 Days Later is because it's a very personal story that's again not about the subject matter it's involved in, and it works within that. So it's like doing a sequel to that sense of something that's a more personal story, because when you do zombie stories, a lot of stuff it's the world that's the threat. Because like one of the things I always complain about is like you have the character types in zombie stuff that you see in every fucking zombie thing ever, you know. The fucking doctors that get killed off because who gives a fuck about doctors? The overly asshole character that might actually be fucking right, but he's so much of a piece of shit everyone hates him, even though he's saying things that are true. It's like you have these characters that always fall in. So if you were to get fucking Zack Snyder to do that, you would just have another Dawn of the Dead. So it's like no, do something different. That's the only way a genre could survive, is that people are doing different things. That's why 28 Days Later stands out so well, because it's so different to the genre that it's supposed to be in.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. But moving on from this, 'cause I know people are like, okay, well, we're sick of zombie movies, now we're sick of zombie talk, goddammit.
Mm-hmm.
So here's something else probably people are sick of, so sorry if we pissed you off. Godzilla. Here's the thing about Godzilla, man, King of the Monsters. As I keep thinking about it, I realize I'm not really as big of a fan as the Godzilla movie, the one that just came out, as I was before, because while thinking about it, not a lot going on. So for one, I'm going to apologize to I think Alan, I think me and you disagreed on this, and you were like not really I don't know.
Not really. Long story short, my issues were that I felt that I liked the overall pacing of the movie. I think it wasn't boring, but the monster fights to me were all just screenshots where it's like, oh, you see this cool image and then it cuts to just somebody else, or you'll see fighting in the background. I'm like, I never really got a cool monster fight like I got in the previous two movies, Godzilla 2014 and 2016. Is it 14? Okay, and Kong. I think Kong has the best monster fights that the series has had. Whereas visually speaking, Godzilla looked great, but I'm like, what else is really going on? The fights are not that interesting.
Yeah, and Chad, I remember you not digging King of the Monsters as much either, right? And she gone.
Yes.
Wait, are you there?
Sorry, there's talking going on in my background. What'd you ask?
No, I was just saying, like you weren't really the biggest fan of King of the Monsters either, correct?
That was the name of the second Godzilla movie, right? Because I was just calling it Godzilla 2. Or Electric Boogaloo.
Well, the thing is, its hashtag is Godzilla 2, then it's Godzilla KOTR, or KOTM, whatever the fuck, and then King of the Monsters. So, I don't know, it's like 4 fucking names for this one movie. But the thing is, the reason why I'm even bringing this up right now is because of the fact that, this Godzilla movie obviously didn't get, like, a bunch of fucking money. I know China, its box office over there saved the movie. Believe it or not.
But like you just have to have like giant monsters or giant fucking robots over there, and they go fucking crazy. I love that shit.
Long live socialism with Chinese characteristics, boy.
I was gonna say, and then have a bunch of the cast being Chinese people. So that works out.
Absolutely, yeah. So then, the thing about this now is like, I guess in San Diego Comic-Con, they're starting to release some information about what they're gonna be having there, and apparently Godzilla, for the very first time, is actually going to be over there. And it's going to be, I guess, Godzilla's 65th fucking birthday, the 65th anniversary of Godzilla, the movie, the franchise.
Makes sense.
And I got to tell you, man, there's really no point for them to go there now, because, like, the fucking movie, it's done, it's gone, it's over with. So, obviously, they must have something ready, right? And March of next year is when Godzilla vs. Kong is going to be, releasing. And I'm thinking, like, dude, would it be kind of silly for me to expect some kind of teaser or trailer for that movie?
A teaser will most likely, if it's not necessarily coming out that year, which I don't know when the fuck that movie's coming out. I 100% expect the teaser, because again, that's a year out to the movie. That's genuine when people advertise, especially a movie that big. So it's like they're gonna go in, they're gonna talk about the movie, they're gonna do this sort of inspiration, yada yada, and then at the end of it, some guy's gonna be holding his phone on this weird fucking angle, like trying to make sure he doesn't get caught, and we're gonna.
I'm next to Godzilla's foot. What's up, son?
Man, I had to do that for the Marvel Avengers game because they released a demo closed. That was some of the worst fucking camera and lighting. I was like, I can't see a goddamn thing.
That
I'm
with
gonna
Monster Hunter
go
as well.
plank on Godzilla real quick.
Yeah, Monster Hunter did the same thing where it's like, what the fuck angle is this? But like, yeah, honestly, at least we'll get a fucking like Kong, like we'll get a title. That's the least I expect. The most is an actual like 10 second, 30 seconds either.
But how? Okay, so what is enough for you to get like a nerd boner? Like, because for me, all I hear is Godzilla's roar, and then like maybe Kong smashing his chest, and that's it.
Nah, okay, so fuck. I'm for me, I'm always one of the ones where I love a stance. So all I want like it to fucking go to King Kong, like King Kong's chest, then go up to his face, and then his arm, like his fist clenches, and then in the background you see Godzilla. That's
Yeah.
all I fucking want. I'm like, yeah, that'll hype me up so much because
Yeah.
it's like that could be the end of the movie. I don't give a shit. But just seeing King Kong's fucking fist clench, and then Godzilla in the background, you know there's gonna be like a running attack. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, that's all I need.
How much you guys want to bet this is going to be exactly like fucking Batman v Superman? To where
Yeah,
they're fighting
the
that
capes
person
are
and then the fucking actual villain comes out and they have to team up to destroy him and shit.
Oh yeah.
That might actually happen.
Why'd you say that name?
Mothra.
Yeah. Oh,
That was a
Mothra.
joke
Yeah.
going for a while.
No, but like, yeah. I mean, at the very end of the, the end
You
of-
just got it.
No, I just picture like fucking Godzilla like being choked out by fucking King Kong, and he's like turned different colors. He's about to die. He just goes Mothra.
Then it just cuts to like fucking like Mothra on the fucking Skull Island, and they're friends and shit, and then she just leaves off. But the thing is, okay,
like when he was like a little baby monkey, she took care of him like from the rain and shit.
exactly. That's how the movie starts. That's how the movie starts. You just see the wig over the rain, and you just see kind of King Kong shivering because he lost his family.
I'll raise you a better one. All right, so the humans are now involved, and they got better weaponry because they're learning the ways of the ancients or where the fuck
Sure.
they're justifying the super technology from. The first this first big flying machine we get, it's coming, and as Khan sees it comes in the distance, it looks like Mothra. He gets happy, and as it reveals this big mechanical human machine coming to grab him from being going ape shit on Skull Island, and it just turns to the big battle, and that's how the battle with Godzilla starts.
Wait, they're gonna start that's like Outbreak. What the fuck?
Pretty much.
Okay, the thing is Jim brings up a good point. This might be very similar to Batman v Superman, but unlike Batman v Superman, this is the fourth. Kong versus Godzilla will be the fourth installment. Batman v Superman was the second installment, so it's like we at least got we know Kong because he got his own movie. We know Godzilla because he's had 2 movies. So it's like we know enough about these monsters that there's characters. They're not just big monsters. Like, we know Godzilla. It's like, hey, he's big. He won't give a fuck if he steps on a person, but he's not going out of his way to murder people. Whereas, what's up?
No, I was gonna say, but in defense of Batman v Superman, I see in just 10 minutes of Batman, I saw more of him than I saw of Godzilla in the whole last 2 movies.
You're not wrong.
So,
But-
go ahead.
But the thing is, it's like, so we know like Godzilla's like, yeah, he doesn't give a fuck if he steps on people, but he's not gonna go out of his way like Ghidorah is to just burn people. He's gonna try to save them, but he's also big. Where Kong is the other way, where it's like he's going out of his way to save people. He's not trying to. He's small and he's nimble enough, but he's actively saving the people around him because he cares about people. So it's like that's really the big difference. Of it's less of a villain versus a hero, more of like 2 heroes. Where it's like, yeah, one person is going out of his way to save people, Kong, and Godzilla, he's just trying to solve the problem. He doesn't give a fuck what gets destroyed, who gets killed. He's like, hey, that's a problem. I can solve that problem. So it's like it's gonna be interesting to see them fight. But man, I'm sorry, especially after the last movie. How the fuck is Kong gonna even stand a chance?
All right, so oh god, this is the part I was.
Oh, here we go.
Like legit, I was like, man, I hope they don't argue over technical bullshit, lighting, or acting, because I really want to get into the stupid shit of whether these two can actually go and duke it out. All right, whose side are you gonna be on, Alan, with this debate?
I think Kong is a better movie, so I want Kong to win. But
I'm not talking
Godzilla
about
can't.
movie. I'm talking about just straight up these motherfuckers throwing hands. This is
Godzilla's
like some middle
overpowered.
school. This is some middle school shit. All right.
Godzilla's overpowered, so yeah,
All right.
Godzilla.
Okay, so you're gonna stand with Godzilla. My thing is, I think King Kong can do it mostly because of the opposable thumbs. He's able to use tools, something that Godzilla can't. Godzilla's also more like a fucking tank. We've seen him. He can't handle things that can fly really well or things that can move in 3D angles. Where as an ape, King Kong is perfect. And if King Kong is actually smaller than him to a certain degree, it's an advantage on his part. Because I hate this bullshit like, oh, Godzilla's taller than everybody. It's that same stupid mentality of like, oh, a tall dude could beat up a little dude.
Okay.
No, I've seen little dudes rock people. So when it comes to him being able to move around and shit, Godzilla's going to have to really focus on catching him, especially with his fire breath, because he can just use that as an advantage to go around him, put him in a chokehold, and just break that lizard's neck.
Okay, but the issue is yes, we've seen Godzilla be in a situation in which physical attacks with Mothra, not Mothra, with Rodan and Ghidorah actually physically harm him. We've also seen situations in which, he's super powerful. Kong is versatile, but look at the environments in which Godzilla can fight in. The water, which, what the fuck? All he can do is run around in a fucking circle like he's fighting a Dark Souls boss. If he's in a fucking city or in a jungle, sure, he could jump off trees and stuff. But Kong is only good in an environment that's very enclosed. So unless Godzilla is dumb, he's not going to be able to fight him.
Godzilla is dumb. He's a lizard.
True, but he fought two monsters off. He might not be, again, he's not gonna sit there running fucking,
he's not gonna strategize how to fucking fight, where to fight.
But he is, you're right in saying he's a tank. But I can't fight a tank. I'm more nimble than a tank. But I can't fight a tank because even if I somehow were able to get up there, it's like, how am I going to damage this person that's been able to go against these giant monsters? So
that's where the tools come in. I really hope they touch that aspect because he used a little bit in fighting the big creatures, like using trees and stuff. That, like, you personally can't fight a tank with your bare hands. But I give you the grenade that sticks to that hull and you run off into the forest. You just took out a tank one man. And that happens in real war.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too. Like, in war, people, like, literally guys just like you blow up fucking tanks.
Yeah, but they usually don't make it back.
No,
true.
They do.
Like, it's fair to say he's not wrong, but the thing is, there is ability for one person to do it through the use of tools, which being him a more has intelligence than King Kong and the opposable thumbs. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this motherfucker come out with a fucking mountain spear at some point in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing here, and I hate to take the fun out of it, but it's just like,
what's up?
It's gonna be a tie. I mean, it's gonna be a tie. Like what Alan said earlier about, like, yeah, sometimes they don't make it back. Khan ain't making it back, son. They better be friends, or they're both fucked.
No, the Jet has a point. What's most likely going to happen is we're going to get to a point where it's going to be like a stalemate. It's going to be like a Batman Superman, where it's like, oh, Batman was about to kill Superman, but a more threat. That's most likely what's going to happen because they're both kind of good guys. It's not like Ghidorah, where it's like, actually, I didn't think they were going to off him in the movie. I legit thought he was going to be a situation where they're going to capture him or he's going to subdue him. So it's like the fact that they're not afraid to wipe out some of these monsters is actually kind of give kudos to the point that maybe one of them doesn't make it. But most likely what's going to happen is, there's going to be a situation in which there's going to be a bigger threat. Maybe the humans will say, fuck, we're going to build Mecha Godzilla, Mecha Ghidorah or something. And then they have to join forces to fight. And then basically they come to a degree where it's like, Godzilla's like, hey, I'll protect the world. And Kong's like, I'm going to fuck off on my island. Call me if you need me, basically.
Yeah, I know. Hollow Man too, like saying Robo Ghidorah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, my voice is dying, so I think it's time for me to get the fuck out of here. We were going to talk about the trailer. Oh, you're back. I was going to ask you what jumped up. I didn't know people were talking in the background. But, Jet, really quick before we do go, I mean, is that your stance, like, fully? Do you really feel like, no, there's no way, like, that's how the ending's going to be is Robo Ghidorah or just King Ghidorah in general, just fucking him up?
They're going to do some shit like that. They're not going to have these two monsters be fucking bad guys. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, no. And that's what I feel, too. I feel like it makes sense just as a business to go that way, too, because you got to keep in mind that this is a MonsterVerse now. There's so many more movies coming out after this.
Man, I don't know if it's a spoiler at this point. If you haven't seen the fucking movie right now, you're not going to see it for a fucking while, so I'm going to say it. If they try to kill a fucking Godzilla again in the next movie, it's basically Batman v Superman.
Yeah. I'm going to have, like, a monster league. That'd be fucking stupid. The monsters of justice.
I need to sacrifice myself to save everyone else.
Yeah.
No, what was it? Jet Jaguar comes in and goes, "You think you're the only monsters?" The monster.
Godzilla's about to pass out. He's like seeing the light as King Kong chokes him out, and just Ken Watanabe just appears in front of his face, like in this like Assassin's Creed like moment where the kid just dream like takes over.
Dude,
get up, Godzilla.
No. It's gonna be a door. King Kong chokes out Godzilla. Godzilla passes out and then goes to human heaven and sees Ken Watanabe.
No. See, I was gonna say the same thing, kind of like Transformers 2, Robot Heaven,
and goes to human heaven instead.
And then Ken Watanabe still can't get over his erection for fucking Godzilla. Just like, oh, you're so beautiful. I love you.
Oh, you could get hard.
No,
Yo, these are some racist ass accents, by the way.
No, Godzilla just lays in his lap and he's just tapping on the head. It's okay. It's not your time yet. You need to go back and fight.
Yeah, and I know that might be insensitive by the Ganja. I heard the fucking saying, but here's the thing with him, man. This motherfucker.
Here's the thing that justifies what I just did.
No, but it will justify it because I cannot understand a fucking word he's saying throughout that goddamn movie. Every goddamn thing is such a damn like stereotype, man. He was like the film equivalent to Nakamura on fucking WWE.
I'll let you know right now. This for me goes for everything. If you have like a real hard accent that is not Cockney Irish, that for some reason I can really understand that and I enjoy that accent. But when it comes to like the real hard ones, when I saw that movie with the fucking Scottish woman in it, I forget Meredith. Well, I forget the fucking movie's called. Redhead Tangle, I guess is the best way to say it.
Okay, I don't.
I have no idea what
They had these
Brave?
hardcore. That one, Brave. They had these hardcore Scottish accents that was fucking hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm, yeah, like I said, I mean, here's the thing, and I think that's the thing that gets discussed a lot too about like, hey, don't do a stereotypical voice when it comes to talking about certain people. We had this friend called 90s, and look, I'm not being insensitive, but this dude talks like this. Hey, Alan. Hey, what you doing? Hey, I'm gonna get out.
Man.
What's going on? Hey, what's up?
I hung out with recently, and like I could be on. I vouch for Nick 100%. Our conversations mostly went like this. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's how it went. Yeah.
So
I love how Gary pops
How you
out because
doing?
we used to have in the after hours the Gary sound-alike competition and JP sound-alike competitions.
Oh.
Where everyone was trying their best to fucking
Got
sound
another
like
white one. Andrew Wilson, if you're watching this, I love you, man. You're the best person to party with, and you're a cool dude, actually, personally. But I don't know what the fuck you're saying half the time.
Hey man, how you doing? Hang on here.
Like-
a big-ass
Like-
country accent.
That is like some country accent that you see from a Disney film.
Yeah, so it's situations like this. I'm just saying, not trying to be an asshole, but Ken Watanabe, that motherfucker. Oh, Godzilla, he's so beautiful. You need to understand, we're his pits, we're his bitches. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I wipe his ass, son, or whatever. The fuck.
The thing is, I
That-
like him.
I'm just picturing an Asian Gary now.
I know, wipe his ass, boy.
The thing is, I like him on Nabi. I like. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I was gonna say I like it on that because I love him in Inception. Yeah, he does have an accent that's very hard to hear a lot of time, but especially again in the first Godzilla and in Inception, they don't give him a lot of lines, but he generally has like when he says something it is important, and it's like okay, we're gonna give you just enough lines, and everything he says like again, the entire Godzilla movie was sold on the one line of "Let them fight." The whole movie was on that one guy's line, so it's like that's why I always liked it because like yeah, he basically sells the fucking movie. He's like, yeah, let them fucking fight. Yeah, let them fight. And in the second one, I feel like they're just like let's just do everything to the extreme. So like, oh, let's get this guy to have every cool line dialogue of oh, we're his pets. Oh, we're this, we're that. I'm like, no, this doesn't work because one, this doesn't make sense to the character, and two, epic moments that don't really fit well.
Yeah, no, exactly. But here's the thing, though, people. We are not going to be roaring at you, making fun of your fucking voice, even though we just kind of did. I just
I mean, we
realized
might.
that. Yikes. But we're getting the fuck out of here. Double Toast tonight, Mover Extravaganza. I'm going to be doing the pre-show. It's going to be at 10 o'clock. I'll be playing some stuff for Annabelle, whatever. And yes, I know Annabelle sucks, but I'll try and make it somewhat fun.
More toys. More
Nick Diaz
dolls.
has become the official fluffer of Double Toasted.
Yeah, it's a fluffing job.
We're watching the third fucking toy movie in the last week.
Yeah, honestly, I'm sick to death of fucking toy movies. Like, you know how I usually would say, oh, Small Soldiers, bring it back. Nah, you can fucking wait a little bit.
Okay, I kind of want Small Soldiers to come back just for like them to have a trailer where it's like a song, like slow song that's like a pop song from. If you wanna be my lover.
Oh, that
Or like a sad, scary version of like War. What is it good for?
War.
What is it good for? Absolutely not.
Nothing. Dun, dun.
Nothing. Have Slim not do it. Anyways, though, with that said, Ganja, I'm gonna actually have him do this because Alan did it for him last week, and I think we kind of did
And
you
it
a disservice.
sucked.
Yeah, it's okay. Here's the thing, though. I forgot the name of the site.
It's a
There we
littlefireburning.com where we hang out, talk politics. Alan's on the show. It is called the Illuminati Podcast. Alan, me, and a great Roof of Wonder. We talk about politics. We talk about shit going on culturally. We talk about people fucking up in the culture. We make our judgments on those fuckers because we don't give a fuck about releasing our prejudice. Yes, I'm prejudiced towards Nazis. I don't give a damn. So if you want to hear our opinions on certain topics, conversations, go check it out. It's the Illuminati Podcast on A Little Fire Burning. I also do another show on the Metropolis Network. I'm working on it. These shows are more individual and more long run. It's called The Source of History Ganja. Working on the next episode. It's going to be about weed culture and how it's changed from the past to now, and as well as going to dive about the economics of it. I'm working on the episode. I've just been doing a lot of stuff on the side, so I haven't got time to really edit it. But I am still having it on the forefront, and I'm still making another episode. Do not give up on me yet.
Now I gotta pull some shit really quick. You and Alan fuck with me on Ringside Hangout all the goddamn time, always saying you're not gonna bring that back. You a bitch. You're dumb. You're fucking whatever. You're fat, which has nothing to do with it. But man, someone put up a timer for how long this dude takes to get this fucking episode out.
Oh,
because that's gonna be a meme. That's gonna be a
Ganja,
meme.
did you ever cancel your Subversive History?
No.
Exactly.
Then what the fuck is this?
You canceled the Ringside Hangout.
I'm still working on it. I got notes and everything. I'm just having time to record.
Man, don't do some Julian Green shit now. Like,
hey,
that's a better fucking
No. Julian Green's way worse than me. I'm not teasing footage that I already have like half edited and then be like, yeah, I'm not gonna release it now just because I feel like a bitch.
I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna push that. I'm not gonna do that again on Saturday, but next Wednesday, if it's not up, I'm gonna start fucking with you. So, with that said,
I want you to keep fucking with me, man, because that just makes people more attention towards it when it gets released.
Exactly. But the Ringside Hangout's still dead. Yeah. Okay. Alan, fuck you. Go and do your thing.
I got so mad the other fucking day when he did the Ringside Hangout because I went and checked out the stream. Like 10 people, everyone's commenting. God damn it! I got so mad. I was thinking of just joining the fucking show just to crash it, but yes. As far as my shit, so Screener Squad. Yeah, go to oneofus.net. Check out Screener Squad. There's a bunch of movies that I think something just came up. The Command. Me and Justin did a fucking review about that. I am working on something for another final days. There's a few shows that have the final season coming up, so I am working on trying to get something up. So I'll let y'all know in the next couple of days if it works out. We're just trying to find enough people that actually watch the show to fucking talk about it. So be sure to check out Screener Squad for more stuff if you want to hear me yell.
Oh, and then we got something from the Jeet of the Jackson. Where can they find you, Jet?
You can't find me anywhere. What are you talking about?
What the fuck? You got a Facebook now. You asked last week.
You don't have to tell them that. But yeah, I am on Facebook now. So if you guys do want to contact me or whatever, send me a friend request or whatever. Tag me in whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Also, I will warn y'all ahead of time. She will block you.
No,
apparently my Facebook auto blocked.
I'll clown you, but I won't block you.
And just so you know, she's really nice. Seriously, look at this really quick. I just want to put this out there. She says, "I hope you get good news on something you've been waiting for or waiting on. You deserve it." But then, of course, you go down, and I changed my mind. Fuck you. So this is the kind of stuff you'll see on here. She's nice, but then she changes her mind. She's an asshole. She fits in right with all of us. All of us in this community. We're all dicks, including Alan. He's the worst out of all of us. It's time for
I'm like the nicest person here.
No, you're
really
not.
are
when you
not.
hide my comments.
Compared to you two Chuckle Brothers and the evil woman that is Jet.
By the
I'm
way,
not even evil. I didn't even say anything mean this whole time.
really quick, Chad.
Yeah, but it
Chad,
doesn't mean anything.
Chad, while we're signing off, because he's going to keep arguing about this. So when we're signing off, tell us, who do you think is the nicest person out of all of us here on the Chad Tech panel? While we get the fuck out of here. With that said, Alan, I know you're looking at me all angry. It's okay, but the chat, let the chat do what they do.
Fuck the chat.
See? Exactly. Ganja, count with me, baby.
3, 2, 1.
Attack the chat. He's such a dick, this guy. Nobody knows.
Also, the Democratic convention's debate's going on right now. Fuck Yang Gang.
Sebastian, what the fuck? Alan's not the nicest. Did you pay him, Alan? Alan, did you fucking pay him?
No.
Bullshit.
Fuck Yang Gang.
Son of a bitches.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.